What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 6 match for the Pokemon Championship League, or the PCL. This is the last day before I go home for the holidays, so I wanted to crank this out while I could. And luckily, my opponent Bob was willing to play me today pretty early in the morning, my time at least, so that we can get this match done before I hop on a bus. So let's run through Bob's team real quick before we start the match. He has Mega Scizor, Starmie, Volcarona, Crocodile, Mienshao, Jellicent, Tangela, Jirachi, Gliscor, Delphox, and Stoutland with the Ghostium Z Crystal. I was not expecting Tangela or Delphox. Those were the only two that I was not expecting. The rest of his team could come. And obviously on your screen here, you don't see Tangela or Delphox, which I'm really excited about because I didn't prep for them anyways because I wasn't expecting them, which is horrible, but it's sort of the time budget that I was on. I did prep a little more for Mega Scizor than I would have liked. I'm running HP Fire on a few things that I regret not running HP Ice on. And I have some rock coverage for the Volcarona, and I was really scared of Crocodile anyways. So looking at his team composition that he brought the Gliscor, the Jellicent, the Starmie, the Jirachi, the Mienshao, and the Stoutland. The Stoutland I'm expecting he brought because he was expecting me to bring Sand, but we're not bringing Sand, so the Stoutland is basically useless. It's pretty much just fodder at this point, especially if it's running Sand Rush over Intimidate. It's not going to be useful at all against my physical attackers. I'm expecting Mienshao to be Scarf because he's brought it Scarf a lot. I have no idea what to expect out of Jirachi. Starmie's typically a Life Orb attacker. Jellicent's typically a wall. I have no idea what kind of wall it's going to be, and then Gliscor would likely be his other wall. If you haven't seen my team builder, you should check it out, but otherwise I will quickly run through my team real quick here. We have an Assault Vested 4 attacks, obviously because it's Assault Vested. Assault Vested Primarina. We're running Expert Belts, 2 attack? Expert Belt 2 attack, Salazzle, we're running Choice Scarfed, Excadrill, we're running Sub Leech Seed, Superior, we're running Shookaberry Offensive Raichu, and we're running Dragon Dance 3 attack Salamence with a Yachi Berry, just for some random ice move coming out. Could be like Ice Fang coming out of Gliscor, could be like Ice Beam coming out of Starmie. I think Jirachi gets Ice Punch. I'm not entirely sure on that one. Any random hidden power ice flying out of anywhere. So yeah, I'm excited not to see any of those, but I realized that it's been so long since I built the team that I forgot what I was going to lead with. So I am just going to end up leading Superior, I think, because it's the best matchup against his team, and he's going to lead Starmie. I guess expecting my Excadrill lead to set up rocks. So I'm going to go for the Leaf Storm as I see the Ice Beam. Just real, I do miss the Leaf Storm, which is really unfortunate because that Starmie would have either died or taken a ton of damage, which would have helped out later. 90% accurate moves, man. What are you going to do? The fact that I've missed 2 Leaf Storms this season in clutch scenarios is really saddens me, but Superior has still been a lot of fun to use so far. So while I was in this game, I completely forgot about speed tiers, and I thought that Superior should have outsped Starmie, so I thought that he was Scarfed. If I had calced the damage properly, I would have seen that he's Specs, but from this point on, I think that the Starmie is Scarf until I figure out that it's Specs a little bit later. So I'm scared of that, and I'm going to go into my Primarina here, which can tank this hit really well. Does 15, like, obviously that's ridiculous. And I'm going to go for the Energy Ball, because it's the best thing to hit the Starmie, and Jellicent's not a switch in to an Energy Ball, but I find out through some calcs that this is his specially defensive ball, and so it's not a very good physically defensive ball. Now here I'm expecting him to go for Recover, because we've seen that he's faster than my Primarina, which means he's running some speed investment, or he just won the speed tie, because we're both base 60s. So he actually could just be running 4 in speed and outspeed my Primarina, which actually would have been something that I should have done, was put 4 in speed to outpace the Jellicent, but I didn't think of that at the time. So yeah, so he sees that he's faster. He's not living another Energy Ball, by the way, so if I did win the speed tie, his Jellicent's just gone. But instead, I'm going to switch into my Salamence on his Recover. Sorry, my Superior on his Recover, so that I can get a Leech Seed off. And so I think I sub first, actually. Yeah, I'm going to get the sub off as he goes into Jirachi, which I guess is his counter to my Superior. And I'm going to go for the Leech Seed. We see that he is Scarfed based on that Iron Head because I'm running enough speed to outspeed Mienshao, which is faster than this thing. So we see that he's Scarfed Jirachi, which is relatively threatening if he's actually faster than me, but not that threatening right now. So I get the leech seed off and I'm getting some health back, and then I'm going to go into Excadrill here because we eat that Iron Head up for days, boy. That Iron Head does absolutely nothing, and we're going to get the leech seed recovery back anyways. I'm expecting him to want to go Gliscor, so I double out into my Raichu, which seems kind of silly to anyone watching. Like, why would you go Raichu on a Gliscor? Well, I'm running HP Ice, and I have a Shuka Berry, so I know I live in Earthquake, and 2 HP Ices kill this thing. So I'm going to go for the HP Ice, as he's going to double out into Starmie here, which does pretty pitiful damage, but it's actually a little more than I was expecting. And again, I thought he was Scarfed, and then I was like, well, there's no iteration of Starmie that can OHKO my Raichu with a Hydro Pump except for Specs, where the min roll is 100. So now I know that his Starmie is Specs after a lot of calcing, and that scares me, but at the same time it doesn't. So I can go into my Superior here because I eat that Hydro Pump, or at least I thought I did, and then it killed me, which is really bad. But I bring in my Salamence here, and he brings in Jellicent, and I can just DD up, and then Dragon Claw this thing, hopefully not get Curse Bodied, and he shows the Will-O-Wisp. Actually really good prep on his part. I was thinking to myself, like, there's no way this thing has Will-O-Wisp, right? We've seen this is his specially defensive wall. That's a 2-shot with Dragon Claw. Even when he burns me, it's a 2-shot. Because he's a Spit F wall. But there's no way he runs Toxic and Will-O-Wisp. Like, what's the point of that when you're a specially defensive wall? But he's running the Will-O-Wisp and it cripples my Salamence. So now Salamence is pretty much useless until after we get the roll on this Dragon Claw here. It was a roll, but it was a roll in my favor. So now we're neutral attack again because we have Moxie. And he brings in Gliscor. Dragon Claw does nothing. You can see that's Fizz Def Gliscor. And he gets rid of our Jirachi. I wasn't scared of Nice Fang because I knew it lived. But now I can just Dragon Dance up again. And I think I Dragon Dance one more time as he's going to SD. Because now we're at +2 attack. And we can actually 2-hit KO this thing if he chooses not to attack me now. But he is just going to go for the knockoff and kill me at +2. My play now is to go Salazzle. Because I really don't have very many options with just 3 Mons left to his 5. So I'm going to go Salazzle with my... we know he's not Scarfed on Gliscor, so my Hidden Power Ice will kill because I'll be faster. Flamethrower actually didn't kill, but Hidden Power Ice did. And now he's going to bring out the Mienshao. And we see that the Mienshao Scarf too, and he Scarfs Stone Edge and he hits the Stone Edge. So I'm kind of salty about him hitting the Stone Edge and me missing the Leaf Storm. Also him hitting all those Hydro Pumps is a little ridiculous to me as well, but that's fine. Salazzle did its job, took out Gliscor, which was a big threat. It was the only thing stopping my Excadrill from just clicking Earthquake. I know he's locked into Stone Edge now, so my Excadrill just gets a free Earthquake off, and I believe he's just going to sack his Stoutland here. Yeah, he's just going to sack his Stoutland. That took it relatively well, but again, Stoutland's completely useless. And now Starmie comes out. I go into my Primarina here because we can tank whatever. Hydro Pump, that does way too much because it's Specs, and I'm Toxic, so that's not really good for me. I just go for the Energy Ball. I really probably should have predicted the Jirachi coming in because his Starmie is pretty important, but the Iron Head does actually kill me there. I did cancel that play because I went for Scald and I was going to double out into Excadrill instead, expecting him to Iron Head, but it's actually fine that it ends up this way because now my Excadrill comes out. He's locked into Iron Head, so he has to switch. Something's dying to my Earthquake here, and he chooses it to be the Mienshao. Then Starmie's going to come out. He thinks he might kill me, but no, he's in range of an Earthquake. Now Jirachi's coming out here, and I'm like, oh god, no Fire Punch. He hits the Fire Punch, it doesn't do enough, doesn't burn me, and my Earthquake kills him. And we win the game 1-0. Pretty crazy end to the battle. Excadrill's been fairly useless for me this season. I think it's died in every single game I've brought it to, but it manages to pick up 4 kills this game, which makes up completely for that, because now it's an even differential on my Excadrill. I'm really excited that we won that game too, because that puts us at 4-2, I believe. I think it's 4-2. We have a lot of difficult opponents ahead of us. We've taken on maybe the easier side. I don't want to necessarily generalize this, but we have opponents like Blade, we have Starvin left, we have Dang It left as well. Some of the guys at the top of the bracket. We have Derpy next week, I think. Actually, I'm pretty sure I just named off all the rest of the matches. Yeah, we have Derpy next week, and then the week after that is Dang It, and then the week after that is Blade, and the week after that is Robin, and the week after that is Starvin. So we in my mind, we have the hardest end of the season coming up here. Again, I'm sort of like testing in this league. I'm not necessarily trying the hardest that I could be, but I think we do still have a solid chance at playoffs, and I'd love to make the playoffs. Um, Notable, there will be a hiatus. Next week starts on the 25th of December, which is obviously Christmas, and we are getting 2 weeks to do our Week 7 matches because the week runs between Christmas and New Year's, which is a little bit ridiculous that it actually ends up that way, but yeah, we're getting an extra week. In most of my leagues, we're getting an extra week, so that's the idea. So early January is probably when we'll play this, when I'm back in my apartment and I have the recording opportunity for myself. So yeah. Anyways, that was our match against Bob and the Little Rock Larvitars. Next week we take on Derpy and the Oakland Choppers, so keep an eye out for that, and I'll catch you guys later.